So I was in New York City this past week.
New York City, New York?
Yes, the Big Apple.
Ooh.
Went there to see like the tree and to do some shopping and to maybe see a few shows and things
Did you
like
see
that.
any shows?
No.
Oh.
Decided not to.
So why'd you throw in maybe see a few shows?
Because I
if
thought
you
I
didn't?
would, but then I thought, why bother?
Okay, fair.
Actually, I did want to see a few shows, but Ian's like, I'm so tired of going to New York and seeing shows. I don't want to see a show.
Oh, what a bah humbug.
I know, a
what
bah humbug.
Buzzkill.
So I had a meeting with my editors at the Daily Mail.
Okay.
And so we were in Midtown Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Manhattan?
I mean, I know it as well as anyone who's never been there probably knows it.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So I was in Midtown and I had to get to Soho.
Okay.
Okay. To put that into perspective.
South Houston Street?
Yes. And
See, I told you.
so for those of you who are not familiar, this is about a 20-minute cab ride.
Okay.
So I get out of the hotel and I called an Uber and then my Uber canceled. Now, I am already late for my meeting with my editors at the Daily Mail.
That's no good.
No, it was bad. Well, because I underestimated. I thought it would take like 20 minutes. But because of traffic, Fifth Avenue.
Oh, you didn't think to add into your calculation New York City Midtown traffic on a weekday?
At 6:30 p.m.
Okay. I should have been just a quick jaunt over.
So that's what I feared.
Sure.
I figured I could just hop on the subway if all else fails. But then I thought probably I shouldn't go alone on the subway. That would be
Why?
a bad idea.
They send children on the subway.
Yeah, I know, but they carry knives and I don't. So I go to the bellman and I say, okay, I need a cab.
Right.
And he like does the whistle thing. The cab comes over, and I get in the cab, and he says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I was like 424 Lafayette."
Okay.
And he's like, "I don't know." He doesn't speak any English, and I said, "It's down in Soho." And so he goes like.
He doesn't have a phone he can pull up and Google Maps it?
So he Google Maps it.
Okay.
And then by the time he Google Maps it, we go up like 400 feet, and then he says to me, "Get out."
Because it was too far?
I said, "What do you mean, get out?" And he goes, "Get out of my cab." And I said, "You're not allowed to do that." And then he goes, "Get out of my cab." And I thought, you know what? I probably should just get out.
Yeah.
And not want to fight the guy.
Again, you don't have a knife.
So I get out of the cab, and then I find an Uber, but then I had to walk a block to catch the Uber, you know.
Why did he throw you out of the cab? Because it was so far away.
It was too far.
Okay.
It was too far. So I get in the Uber. Now, again, this is a 20-minute ride.
Which you sound like you've already been 30 minutes in.
Well, and plus it's 6:30, Midtown traffic, Fifth Avenue closed, the whole crapperoo. So I didn't really look at the prices. I'm like, I just got to get there. I mean, this is the Daily Mail. I mean, this is a big thing that I write for the Daily Mail. So, and I'm meeting my editors.
Right.
Okay.
Which are already late.
I'm already late. And so, and I text them like, on my way. On my way. Just then they're like, "Would you like a glass of wine?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, just order me wine." Just order me. So he drops me off, the Uber driver, and I looked down. It was $143.
Surge pricing, baby.
That's exactly what it was. Surge pricing, because on the way back it was like $52.
That's still crazy.
I know,
for
but-
a 20-minute ride.
But this is New York.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you start talking about pricing, but it's but the city is so fabulous. I miss New York.
Can I ask you a question? Did you change the percentage or amount you would have tipped on a $50 ride compared to a $143 ride?
No, I didn't. I just said, okay, goodbye. You know, it's like, I think, you just say, it's like, I think it's like
You
15.
hit the middle button or whatever?
It's like 15%.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever. And then, but no, I didn't. I probably should have. But the city's all getting ready for like New Year's Eve. Would you ever do that? Go to Times Square for New Year's Eve?
Sure, why not? It sounds like a blast.
With all those people, I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do it?
No, not standing in the cold.
The key is you get a hotel room that's right near the ball drop, and you just watch from your hotel, and you don't have to deal with all the thousands of people downstairs.
Yeah, that's true.
I know somebody who went to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade, and they just got a hotel with a balcony right on the parade route. I mean, it was like $1,300 a night, but they didn't have to worry about all the crowds.
And then you're not sitting there in the rain either.
Right.
Yes. But, so Times Square is going to be great New Year's Eve. As long as they don't drop the ball.
Oh, God.
You missed me.
I didn't miss those.
You did so. Say it.
That was just crammed in there for no reason. We could have continued without it, been peace in bliss. Fine.
No.
Welcome back.
No, because people miss them. They do. They love my jokes.
I know.
They do. It's crazy.
They're weird, too.
And on that happy note, welcome. It's Kim Commando Today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. And, of course, just a quick reminder, if you're getting the audio version, we love you for that. We do. Make sure that you just drop a nice comment review every once in a while. But you can also watch us do the podcast, and that's over at youtube.com/Kim Commando.
What a good week for the YouTube channel.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
Oh, the views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And they love me.
Why did they love you for the last year?
You know, you didn't have to be so. It's the holiday season. You're supposed to be like gentle and kind and loving.
Yeah, youtube.com/Kim Commando. Please subscribe. We gained like 6,000 subscribers in the last 3 days. It was crazy off one video.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
I know. Joe's doing a great job.
She is. Make sure when you do, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, comment below. It helps the algorithm so that more people get to see us and we get more videos that have 3 million views on them.
Isn't that something?
It was great. It was cool.
You know, you might want to start dressing a little better. Just saying.
Nah.
It's true.
I don't have the clothes to dress better.
What do you got coming up?
We have Hawk Tuah girl back in the news.
Oh, really?
We've had the rise. This is probably going to be her fall.
No.
Yeah, it's bad stuff.
Is your son still saying Hawk Tuah?
Yeah, it's a meme. Oh. Spit on that thing. All right. Hopefully it goes away soon. He doesn't say skibbity toilet anymore, so it'll have a short shelf life and then go away.
I'd rather have the skibbity toilet than spit on that thing. Just say it.
He doesn't know what it means.
All right, we're giving away a $500 Amazon gift card, and I know that you want it. So what you want to do is go to winfromkim.com in order to enter to win. That's winfromkim.com. All right, here are some things that are happening in the tech world that we need to talk about. First of which, the New Jersey drones.
Oh, yes.
Okay, big, massive thing.
They're searching for a nuclear weapon that they believe is in New Jersey. That's what I read on the internet.
Listen, I was born in New Jersey.
Right.
I was raised in New Jersey. There's a lot of chemicals all over that state.
If the nuclear weapon went off, would you be able to tell?
We wouldn't know. I mean, we wouldn't know. I mean,
on some exits at some turnpikes, you probably wouldn't be able to tell.
I mean, I would go over to my grandmother's house, and she lived in a place called Cliffwood Beach.
Okay.
And my father would be like, "Don't drink the water." And then like my cousins would be like, "Hey, let's go down to the beach." And then my father would look at me like, "Don't touch the water."
And your father's from that area, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I always thought like, Dad's just being paranoid and all this other stuff. And then it was like, it was probably in my 20s, and they started like exposing how like Union Carbide was just dumping all this crap into the water right there.
He knew what he was talking about.
So anyway, so you have these drones, 30 to 50 at a pop. I guess we're on day 26, 7, something like that, of the drones being, above people's heads. Size of SUVs. And of course, some people are saying that there's a mothership
Right.
on the coast, and the drones are going back and forth.
They look too human, I think. They just look like big drones.
Well, they
don't look like spacecraft.
Okay, they're not UFOs.
No.
I went to the highest authority known to anybody.
Your husband?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes, honey, it was you. In case you're watching, so smart, Dr. Science, which I'll give you his theory. It's interesting. So I went to George Norrie.
Oh, okay.
Coast to coast.
Yeah.
Do you think you could ever get his personal cell phone number? Probably not.
Probably. I mean, it's just George Norrie. We're not talking about Obama.
He's on 600 stations.
Okay.
Speaking of Obama, I saw Obama's daughter, the older one.
Sasha or Malia?
Malia. How do you say her name?
Malia?
Malia. Yeah, we were having tea.
Oh, you saw her in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it was, what was kind of weird is when I saw her, it was like she was sitting there in the center of the restaurant with her back to the wall with 2 of her friends. And it was weird because she actually, like, as you walked by, she looked at you like, yeah, it's me. Yeah.
You're going to run down Malia Obama?
No. And I mean, and so I was leaving and I said to Ian, I said, watch how she looks at you. And instead of like, I mean, like, if you're that, I mean, you probably would want a table in the corner.
Sure. You don't even want people make eye contact with anyone.
No, she sat right in the middle in a pathway and looked you eye to eye whenever you went by. Like, yeah, and like would move her hair and go, yeah, that's me.
She is the daughter of a former president.
I get that, but you don't sit in the middle of a freaking
She
restaurant.
probably has George Norrie's cell phone number.
Thanks for mentioning that, because now I'm back.
That's what I did. That's the only reason I did it. I had to bring you back in.
Such ADD. So
I didn't want half the internet to hate you for running down Malia Obama.
no, I you know she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's stunning. But I just thought it was interesting that she's sitting right in the middle of the restaurant. So anyway, I talked to George, because we're on first name basis.
Sure.
Okay. And he thinks that it is probably like some military government. It is not a UFO.
You had to name drop George Norrie for him to say it's a military. Everyone knows it's a military project. Which military is the question?
Now, my husband thinks that I told him I didn't think this was true.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me tell you his theory. If this were truly one drone that was the size of an SUV, it would have big props.
Right. It's got to keep that weight up.
Right. Okay. It wouldn't sound like a because that's what it sounds like.
What would it sound like?
Like a motorcycles.
I need to know. I mean, you did the. I need to know what it would sound like. I can't.
Like
picture it.
rum, rum, rum. Okay. And that if New Jersey, that you have enough drone hobbyists that they could figure out how to get together and like do like this massive prank.
See, I everything I've read, it's professional. It makes professional movements. It's not as though these drones are used by just a hobbyist there in New Jersey. Everything I've read is the exact opposite of that.
Well, here, let's look at the video.
Right.
Let's see it. Okay. Explain what you see.
You see some. It's just a street, and then there's some drones in the air, and there's a light that's bouncing around everywhere, and there's some stable lights that aren't moving, but that's moving really fast.
Yeah, it is.
But I thought there was always multiple ones. Is this the first time there's just one in the air?
It could just be the angle where they're at.
Okay.
But but it's always like 30 to 50 or something.
Right, exactly.
You know.
So what do you think it is? Because I don't have an opinion. I have no idea. I think it's the military testing something. They want to keep it secret, so they're...
Well, see, the fact that the FAA is like radio silent, and the Pentagon is like, don't worry about anything.
Well, they always say that, yeah.
But they also say that about the Chinese spy balloon.
Which was shot down.
I mean, I thought that was so funny.
The sound effects coming from you today. Hey, plus.
Well, I'm hoping that we may get a sponsor. See?
And if you're not watching us on the YouTube channel, you missed the hand signal of something that was higher. Get lower.
Well, it goes with the sound effect. Okay, so it's obviously, I think it has to be our military.
Sure, because if it was any other military, it would have been shot down 33 seconds after it was in the air.
Yes.
If it was China or anywhere else, we would have just taken it out.
So it has to be our military.
Right, and then
testing
once they're done with their test, they'll tell everybody what happened, or they'll say, we released a report, and 94% of it's going to be in black, redacted, the whole thing.
But you can get it in 30 years in the Freedom of Information Act.
Absolutely, just be patient.
Yeah, so the drones. I don't know.
Is this where the drone joke is coming in?
I could drone on, but I'm not.
Okay.
I actually just came up with that one on the fly. I didn't
Fly, another one.
Oh!
She's on fire.
Meanwhile, General Motors, they've invested $10 billion in self-driving technology.
See? Waymo is the
billion.
way to go.
Okay. No,
It's the future.
Waymo's the competitor.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I believe in it.
Okay. They spent $3.5 billion in 2023. Okay. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Okay. This past week they said, we're closing the doors.
Really?
Yeah, they're closing down the Cruise Robo-Taxi project.
Because they're behind? Because it's not possible? Because it's not going to be profitable?
Because they lose like $1 gazillion every car that they put out there. Oh, and by the way, last month they had to pay the feds a $500,000 fine because they made some like misstatements about a crash.
Oh. Only 500,000?
Yes.
That's jump change when you're spending $10 billion on the project.
Okay, I still would never get in one.
You won't get in a Waymo?
No.
Oh, they're great.
No. Mm-mm.
2 bucks. It is 2 blocks from my house. And once it creeps over into my neighborhood, I'm done with cars. I'm going to be Waymoing everywhere.
Really?
Absolutely.
You're not afraid, like...
No.
No.
I'm more afraid of the jerk that cut me off and I almost crashed into him picking up my kids on Wednesday than I am of this. There's no difference.
Well...
I know the report came out that it's different at night and when they're taking turns, left or right. I get it. Statistically, it's a little higher, but it's a small sample.
Higher.
It's just a little...
It just crashes in the mornings and in afternoons. And
Roads
at
aren't
night.
safe.
No.
And I'd rather sit in the back seat than a front seat and not drive.
You know, that's where the safest seat on a plane is in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought that was funny. You pay more to go in first class, and if the plane crashes, you're like the first one's wiped out. I mean, what's going on with that?
You've never been in one. We need to do it for a video. We need to do a video, get you in a Waymo, and tool around town.
Okay, I don't know if I'm game for that.
You're being serious.
Yeah, I really don't trust them.
We won't get on the freeway.
Okay, we'll go a couple of blocks.
Yeah. We'll go, 2 miles north, turn around, and come back.
Okay, the Daily Mail, they'd love that. National radio host,
You
Daily Mail
freaking out in the front seat of a Waymo.
No, crashed. Waymo crashed.
It would be good. We should fix it. We'd get so many clicks.
Okay, so what's the deal? You're now my Blue Bubble friend.
Yes.
What happened?
I went back. I went back to the iPhone 16
You went
Pro
to the dark
Max.
side.
It's not a bad phone. Samsung S24, it's good. It's not user intuitive. There are so many things where it's either because I have muscle memory from using an iPhone forever or that it's just not well made. Like when you look at your phone and you're holding it in the car and you want to do a voice text, I'm not texting when I'm driving. I'm in a Waymo, so I'm not driving. And I want to do a voice text. The microphone is all the way over here on the opposite side of my right hand. So I had to reach all the way across.
Oh, God. Oh, I had to reach all the way across with my thumb to get the microphone on my $2,000 phone.
Just one example of how it's not
That's
user-friendly.
Not even a first world problem.
Wasn't getting text messages from iPhones. Out of nowhere, it just stopped. You could have sent me 10,000 messages. I wouldn't have seen any of them.
Good.
The email wasn't working. I was having so much problems.
So how
with
much did it cost you to get out of it?
$1,100.
To get out of it?
Yeah.
And then you had to buy this phone.
Yeah, but then I just switched companies, and it's the Christmas time, so they have all these. I got a free phone, I got a free other stuff, and my bill didn't change. It's fine. So
And
$1,100
did
out
you
of
get
pocket.
a 16 Pro?
Yeah, with Apple Intelligence, which is nothing.
Oh, no, it's
Nothing.
okay, no, it's starting to kick in.
I looked up all the features that are supposed to be in. I have none of them.
Okay, well, maybe because you're not being nice to me.
Now, that's what it is. I didn't know that you had to join a wait list.
Yes.
So if you get a new iPhone 16,
It's not like it just drops automatically. You have to
Right.
go on the wait list, and then it will come down pretty quickly.
oh, I got it within an hour.
Yeah.
I got added from the wait list to it, and then I shut down my phone and did a full restart, and there's nothing. I don't have the AI texting emoji thing.
Oh,
How
you
come I don't
don't?
have that?
The image playground, that's fun.
Come on, I don't have it.
Okay, it'll come to you. It will. You know what? If you just keep...
It's not doing it. It's not making any summaries of my text messages and emails. It's not, when I'm writing a text, I can't have it hit the business button.
Because they know that you went to the dark side. and
I have
you're
none of the
coming back.
features.
Okay. But so the other day, I get everything. Mine's all summarizing. And the other day that Amber sends out a thing because Mackenzie, it's her first year anniversary here. And then I open it up and then, it comes up and it says, "Oh, Mackenzie, congratulations." It generated an automatic reply. It wasn't that good. I had to change it up. But the fact that the auto reply was there, I was like, that might be kind of sweet.
I will say Siri's a lot better. You can talk to Siri like you're talking to a person.
Yes.
And I tested it. I was like, hey, there's a Mexican food place near my house called Moreno's. And I was like, hey, where's the nearest Moreno's? And it popped up this closest one. I'm like, is it open right now? And then it popped up the hours. It's not talking back. It's just showing the images on my phone.
Yeah, you don't have the full thing yet.
And then I was like, well, what about tomorrow? What are the hours tomorrow? And it popped up the hours for tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. Siri is actually a lot better than...
See, but imagine if it were to say, would you like me to make a reservation?
I'm sure it's going to get... I could have asked for a reservation, though.
Okay, well, see, what's coming now is soon is, how I've always said, like, Google's dead? Mm-hmm. They have something that may resurrect them.
Wow. The American monopoly that is Google?
I think it's called Mariner.
Okay.
And Mariner is where you can feed it a shopping list. It'll look at the prices online across like, Safeway, AJ's, Fry's, Albertsons, Kroger, whatever.
Right.
And then we'll say, oh, okay, based on, just like nanoseconds. Based on your list, Kroger's going to be the cheapest. Okay. And then it's going to put everything in your cart, schedule the delivery, and the only thing you have to do is pay for it.
That's really cool.
Okay. I want to go to Europe, and I want to go here, 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 and here. And I want to stay at 5-star hotels, but I'm looking for a discount. Okay. So then it will go out and it will do that whole plan.
Is it all shopping based?
No. I mean,
Okay.
you can do research and things like that, but they're not saying when it's going to be released. And that's always, you can always look at these like spiffy videos that they do.
Right.
It's like, and then Mariner can do this. And you're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then you're like, oh, when's it coming? They're like, we're not sure yet.
I have it built, the Apple built in my phone. I still have none of this bells and whistles.
You want to get 18.2.
Okay.
iOS update.
I'll check and see if I have it.
18.2. Because you get the AI, and also they just released 21 serious security fixes.
Oh, I need those. Regardless of the AI, I need those.
I know you're a Windows guy.
Yeah.
They say 240 million PCs are too old to update to Windows 11.
Oh, that's a lot. So does that mean that if you wanted to upgrade the Windows 11, just say, nope, can't do it?
No, just vomit right all over you. Because they say you don't have the goods.
I mean, desktops are these desktops and laptops or just desktops?
Both.
Both. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to go upgrade your laptop there.
Yeah, I don't know who buys a desktop computer. Well, I do. I have a couple of desktops.
You answered your own question. Look in the mirror if you want to know who buys a desktop computer.
Because I have 2 desks.
People love desktops.
I like the big screen.
Right.
Although I'm kind of ticked off at Apple. Because, they discontinued, I loved it, the 27-inch iMac. And so now it's like you have like a little tiny one.
Can't you just get an external monitor and hook it up?
I
And
know you can do that.
Okay.
It's
Sorry.
kind of like you putting your thumb across the screen. I get it.
It's hard.
Okay.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
I had an extra, and this is going to sound like first world problems. I had an extra 75-inch TV when I got my new one. And so I brought it up to the office and I turned it into a third monitor.
No.
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'll just put Netflix on there and then make it full screen. Or, Hulu, whatever, and just have TV run in the background when I'm working on the computer. 75-inch monitor. It's pretty clear. It's a lot clearer than I thought it was going to be for an old TV.
Well, they used to be pretty crappy. I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago. But
Right.
now it's not and it used to be so hard to figure all that out. But now it's not anymore. Finally, I'm kind of sad.
Why?
Yellowstone.
Yeah, it's over?
I know.
Forever, right? That was the series finale.
I know it's this coming Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sad. Have you ever watched Yellowstone?
Like 3 episodes and I bailed.
Oh, it's so good. Beth Dunn, she's great. I want to come back as Beth. She just like, I can't say what it is, but she'd say things like with the F-bomb and say it's like an F-bomb-opoly. Like,
Do you have predictions for the series finale?
no. I don't
But isn't there
know.
like 64 spin-offs you can watch?
No, the spinoff that I'm excited about is with Beth and Rip.
Rip's the security guy?
Well, yeah, and they got together and they've been together since kids.
Yeah.
And they're just, every gal wants a Rip in her jeans.
All of this. All of that. Just for one line. This is a 45-minute show, and you do so much work for 8 seconds of it.
It's so funny. It is. Okay, then why are you laughing? If it's not funny, then why are you laughing?
All right, it was funny. Fine, move on.
Hey, if you're thinking that this is the Kim Komando show, it's not. Nope. But if you want the big show, the Kim Komando show, that's where you can get it. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Commando with a K, of course, Komando. And the Kim Komando show is available as a podcast, 2 versions. One, commercial free, And you got to pay a couple bucks a month for that because somebody's got to pay the bills. Or number two is that you can watch it and get it via commercials, again, wherever you get your podcasts. And that would be free. So that's Kim Commando Show. And it's
Nice.
different because we have all kinds of calls,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of news, a lot of tips.
It's a totally different format.
It is, exactly. All right.
Well, if I asked you, what is the number one name that comes to mind when you're thinking of high finance, what would that name be?
High finance.
You're exactly right. The Hawk Tuah girl. And that's why she decided to come out with her own cryptocurrency, the Hawk Tuah token.
Okay, if she can have a token, I could have one.
You can have a token. No one's stopping you.
Okay, go ahead.
But whether or not you're going to pump and dump and rip everybody off, that's up to you.
I wouldn't do that.
That's what happened.
Oh.
So she came out, she got together with some crypto bros, and they came up with this idea for the cryptocurrency, the Hawk Tuah token. She promised that this is not just a pump and dump scheme. This is not a get rich. This is for the long term, and she will lock in any investment token she gets from the project for an entire 12 months.
Ooh, long time.
So you can rest assured that your money will continue to grow. And this is what happened. They launched the coin, and within 20 minutes, let me rephrase, within 19 minutes, it was up to a market cap of $600 million.
No way.
Yes. And then 1 minute later, it was down to 50 million because everybody sold and it instantaneously became worthless
Oh,
within the 20 minutes of launching.
God, but they made a crap load of money doing
Who's
that.
the they, though? We got to find out who the they is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So that night she goes on to a chat with all of her investors, and she's just getting barraged with questions.
She don't know anything.
No, she doesn't know anything. She didn't know anything. Her only answer to the serious question she was asked was, I'm going to bed. And she disconnected. So everyone's upset because everyone lost their money. Now they're getting investigated. They're getting investigated by the internet right now. We don't know if it's how far it's going to go when it comes to
people
legality.
that lost money are going to be so ticked off.
The internet is gathering together. They're hiring lawyers. They're coming after them. But this is how it went down, which is pretty, I don't know, ingenious, scary. One of the two is that they did secure her coins, locked them down on the blockchain for a year. She cannot sell them.
Okay.
But then they reached out to investors.
Okay.
And these were offered the coin prior to the launch. 18% of the coin was sold to these investors.
Okay.
At a pre-market rate. So literally, 0.00000001 of a penny for every single coin that they purchased. Those coins were open and free to be sold immediately, which is not how a project should launch.
No. Okay.
90% of the people who owned those coins sold 100% of their coins after the first 20 minutes.
Wow.
So it was a pump and dump. It
Exactly.
literally was pump the money into the coin and then dump out, taking all the profits and leaving everyone else, and we'll get to whoever everyone else is in a second, everyone else with nothing. So that's one portion. The investors got a ton of the money. Another chunk of the money went to fees. They made over $3 million in transaction fees. Now, the reason why the fees were so high is because they said they wanted to avoid having a pump and dump scenario and having, this is the truth. This was in their deck that they sent out to all these investors, and avoid having these snipers come in, buy the coin, dump it before, and so it's worthless, which is exactly what happened. But these fees were supposed to prevent that. It didn't. So they were then questioned by a bunch of people on the internet. Where'd these fees go? Where'd these fees go? And they were like, well, it went to the foundation in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, God.
If you want to look guilty, send money to the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, it's always going to be there.
$3 million in fees was taken out and sent to the foundation
BS.
in the Cayman Islands. So that's the second part. The third part is, who are the people that got ripped off? Well, they were promoting this to the investors. On the deck, it said, this will just be normal, average people who know nothing about cryptocurrency, who like the Hawk Tuah girl, who'll see her put up 1,000 videos, and they'll go and buy it. That's who they stole from. And they knew from the beginning that that's who they were going to. This was the plan the whole time. Have a core group of people, invest a bunch of money, take it out after 20 minutes, and then everyone else who's the normos are ripped off. The internet's mad. They're gathering together, they're luring up, they're contacting authorities. She's taken down every single evidence of this coin from all of her social media, and she has gone into hiding.
She has to. She
might go to jail. I mean, this is theft.
The Hawk Tuah girl?
The Hawk Tuah girl may be Hawk Tuahing in cell block 15.
Ooh. Well, you know, it just goes to show you that before you invest in anything, you need to talk to your professional trader.
So much work. You put so much work into these.
That just came right to me.
I don't believe you.
Talk to her.
Is she going to go to jail?
Nah.
No?
Because you know what? She's going to do the dumb blonde excuse. I didn't know anything about nothing, and they took advantage of me, and I had to sign all these papers, and I'm sure they made her sign a whole bunch of things that, you know.
But if it comes to find out she's one of the names of the founders of this foundation in the Cayman Islands, and she has access to the money.
She is. I bet you she is.
You don't think she just got a flat fee? They'll give you $100,000, throw your name on it.
No.
Okay.
No, because she's, you know, if you are the Hawk Tuah girl or something like that, you know, like this time next month, we're not even going to be talking about.
We've been saying that for 6 months, but.
You know, but before this, I was done with her. I didn't hear much about her.
Okay. Well, you don't live on that side of the internet, though.
What, the crypto side?
No, the fun part.
You live in the boring part.
Right.
You're like in like the science and tech part.
Exactly.
You're like not really going on there. Thanks for that, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Anytime. So it's Kim Komando today. We are so thankful that you are here joining us because otherwise, you know, Andrew doesn't really like to laugh at my jokes. So I would just be laughing myself. And now that you're here, you get to laugh with me. See?
I'm sure everyone's on the floor, rolling around in Hawk Tuah, you're professional. Oh my gosh.
So we do have something that I would like to talk about, is that we've been getting some questions via podcasts at commando.com.
Okay.
And there's one in particular that he wasn't very happy about.
What happened?
Here, take a listen.
Outlook, Washington. I'm writing with regards to a recent recommendation you made for people to simply let their spam filter do its job and never look in the spam bucket. I think that's really bad advice. If I did that for my 3 small business accounts, I'd be out of business within a week.
Okay.
Okay. It's not bad advice.
Ooh, she bites back.
Well, I mean, I actually wrote this guy back.
Okay.
I didn't hear back from him.
Could you put him in his place?
No, I was very nice. I'm always nice. You know, you just don't think I am. You have this thing, you think I'm like mean. But I'm not. I'm very, very nice.
I never said you were mean.
Then what'd you say?
You're callous, I think is the word I would use.
I'm callous.
Cold-blooded.
I'm not. I'm not.
Direct.
I'm very direct.
That's how I describe you, as direct.
Direct. I am direct.
Yeah.
You know where you stand.
Sure.
Okay, there's no question.
But I've never said you're mean.
Okay.
Just direct. And some people don't like people who are direct. They're like, oh, what a bitch, if they're direct.
Now, what if a guy's direct?
Well, then they're
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, oh, well, then that's the way they are.
Oh, then they're the boss. I mean, you got to listen to the boss.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean.
So what did you write back?
I wrote him back, and I said, you know, the advice was, he may have misconstrued it.
Okay.
Okay. 9 times out of 10, what you have in your spam folder, okay, is phishing scams. Mm-hmm. Somebody's trying to take advantage of you. And for the average Jane in America, they should not be putting their nose in that folder because they're going to get suckered into clicking something that, you know, maybe it's like, oh, get a free lottery ticket, or, you know, this is your bank, or your Amazon package can't get delivered, whatever it may be. But the fact that you say that your 3 small businesses would go under unless you look in the spam folder actually leads to a bigger problem, because having your business email go into a spam folder is a symptom of a problem. And the problem is that you're not effectively using email rules and filters.
You got to train your email.
Yeah.
When you get an email that is something that you need, you just tell it this is a valid address. It won't go to your spam anymore.
Exactly. And so, so the fact that you got to waste your time getting into the spam folder, gosh, it's just a nightmare.
What do you think of small businesses are?
Can we listen to his voice again?
Okay.
Let's listen.
Hi, Kim. This is Mark from Outlook, Washington. I'm writing with regards to a recent recommendation you made for people to simply let their spam filter do its job and never look in the spam bucket. I think that's
there's a
really bad
clue
advice.
here. Okay.
If I did that,
The spam bucket.
Yeah, no, maybe spam folder is what most people call it.
Spam bucket.
Not a bucket. Do you think he's a milkman?
No.
Farmer? I think he is an internet reseller.
Oh, yeah, I could totally see that.
I think he goes to Goodwill and he finds Sony speakers for $1 and he resells them for $23 online. That's what I think he does. I think he's an internet reseller.
And he's fallen for those, he sells things that are sold in pallets.
I think he owns a lot of Hawk Tuah coin.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he got in early.
I don't know. I don't think he'd fall
He
for the
would
Hawk
have, but
Tuah.
it went to his spam bucket. He didn't get to see it.
No, he's too old to follow the Hawk Tuah girl.
That's true.
Okay. I could see an internet reseller. Maybe you think he would be a financial advisor?
Maybe it's possible.
Yeah. With 3 small businesses.
And one bucket. That's the problem. You need to have multiple buckets for all your businesses.
I wonder how much money he's making.
Probably 1.6 million a year.
Excellent. All right. So here's the deal. If you're not getting the newsletter, we are almost close to 600,000 people.
It'll be a while until I get it. So I got to pick it up, people. I want to be the 1 millionth subscriber to the newsletter. And I can't be the 1 millionth if we're sitting at 600,000. We need these numbers to move.
That's a crap load of people.
It
I mean,
is.
think about that. 600,000 people start their day with me.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you what's really sweet is that I get quite a bit of this. Either the husband or wife will say that they read the newsletter together. And
Naked?
in bed. No, there was that one guy. I don't remember where he was from, but he sent me a note that said that his wife was really ticked off at me because the first thing he does when he wakes up in the morning, he opens his phones and he reads my newsletter.
Doesn't even depend. Whatever, dear. Go back to bed. Watch the Today Show. I'm busy.
This is what Kim says. All right, so what do you got?
Google.
Google, the company?
You've heard of them?
Yes.
So they're claiming, we haven't seen it in action yet, but that they have a new supercomputer. But this isn't any just regular supercomputer. So we're going to have to call it a super duper computer.
It's the quantum computer.
They're claiming that they can do an equation in 5 minutes that would take a normal supercomputer, not your laptop that you have sitting on your desk, a normal supercomputer, 10 septillion years to accomplish.
Okay, 10 septillion is the number 10 with, is it 24 zeros after?
Too many.
Yeah, I think it's 24 zeros. You know why?
The sun has 5 billion years left. They're saying it would take a normal supercomputer 10 septillion years to calculate.
Okay, what did they feed it in? How do we avoid being prosecuted as a monopoly?
Yeah, have the computer in just 5 minutes. Now, I've always heard the expression, technology doubles every 7 years. I mean, I've heard that since I was a teenager.
Moore's Law.
Moore's Law.
Yes.
How do we get from 10 septillion to 5 minutes in such a short span of time?
Because of AI. Moore's Law has been outdated for quite a while.
Okay.
I mean, that was Moore's Law was the big thing in the 70s, the 80s, 90s. And then we started having jumps. And it's because it used to we'd say every 7 years, and then it was oh wait, we had this massive improvement in processing power and speed and graphics and all that.
So what would be the new law today?
I have no idea.
Because thank Thank you. Okay. At least you have no idea.
I have no idea.
Because I can't comprehend 10 septillion.
I don't even know what you would ask it.
Or what algorithm, what equation are they even basing this on?
Yeah, and how did they come up with it?
Right.
I mean, and a lot of people don't even. You know what? Quantum computing means it can process everything around it, and not in a linear way. See, the way that a lot of the computer logic works right now, it's through if, then, or else statements.
Even supercomputers?
The simultaneous
Okay.
if, then, or else statements. Okay, but now we've thrown AI into the mix, and so it's no longer just relegated to if, then, or else statements. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
But it makes me think that Google's lying. That they want to get out of the headlines for all of their monopoly talk and having to sell parts of their company, that they're just lying.
They've never lied before. What makes you think they'd lie now? I mean, incognito mode, they weren't tracking you.
What even would you use in a practical? There's nothing practical you would even need to do with that type of computing.
Maybe you could, maybe it could be used for something really great, like to find some type of cure for cancer.
Yeah, this is Google. They're going to have to slap an ad on it for them before they're even going to do any of that.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
This cure for cancer is brought to you by Mr. Beast.
My gosh, you know what they do? It's like everywhere you turn, but their AI just sucks. It does.
Wow, but this is their technology.
I'm just talking about when you use Google now, it's horrible. I mean, I don't even know why people use it.
Well, because it's what you know.
But
you go with what you know.
Okay, and I went to a family reunion.
Okay.
In Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia. Hello, Kim Commando. Would you like a mint julep?
No, we didn't have that. Trust me.
Okay.
There wasn't even beer or wine served. I'm like, is there anything to drink here? And they're like, though there's sweet tea. And I'm like, no, I'm looking at alcohol.
Uncle Ernie's got his moonshine.
And then they said, well, there's a bottle of bourbon over there. I'm like, hey, I'll take it. And they're like, no, we're saving it. I'm like, okay.
All right, go ahead. You were at a family reunion.
Yes, which they referred to me as, this here's Barry's wife from the North.
The North? You're from Phoenix.
I looked at him. I said, I thought we won that war. Didn't we win that? That was that's a long time ago. So, but I was looking around at the crowd, and I thought, we are so immersed in technology. I don't think there was one person in that room that knew anything about Claude, Gemini,
Not
Perplexity.
one?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a different slice of Americana.
But so many people use ChatGPT. Were they older people, or are you even throwing in the younger people? Like every college student knows about it. I don't care where you're from.
Okay, there were a couple of college students there, a couple of them. But there was a little boy, 10. I asked him what he was doing, and he was building the Marvel Lego. It was 2,000 pieces. And I asked him, hey, do you ever try to use Blockinator? And he's like, what is that? I said, you can upload an image and I'll tell you all the Lego pieces. And he's like, no, just get the Legos in the box.
All right, simpler life.
But I think, but it was really good to see that, though, and to talk to people and to figure out what they're really concerned about with tech and things. And then, somebody came up to me and said, I didn't know you remember his family. And I said, well, it's, I am, I guess.
Yeah, you are. You're an in-law.
And then he's like, oh, he said, it's so nice to meet you. And I said, thank you. And I looked at him and said, now, don't you be thinking I'm going to help you without all your computer stuff.
Your family, you have to.
And the guy looked at me.
Cousin Kim?
The guy looked, yes. He looked at me and he went he was shocked. And I said, it's a joke,
See?
all right? It's a joke. And then somebody else that was watching said, she's from New Jersey. That's their type of humor up there.
See, no one gets your jokes, not even your family.
Well, yeah. They did. They laughed a lot.
Sure.